Hello. I just wanted to talk about a topic that's very dear to my heart and share the benefits of practicing this particular topic. And the topic that I want to talk about is gratitude. And I think in my own, I can only speak from my own personal experience, but it really made a world of difference in my attitude and in the way I see things, or kind of I suppose I don't know what the word is. Not just see, but I just appreciate a lot more. I really think very deeply about how lucky we are to have what we have. And for some of you it might not, or we all have these kind of goals or projects that we are working towards, and I know some of us are not exactly there. We all have this kind of end goal or destination that we are working towards, and I think we put a lot of focus on the goals or the projects that we're doing, and we forget to be present and at the moment that we're on, and we start thinking about either the future or the past. But most of us, we're never at the present moment, and this causes a lot of anxiety, a lot of unsettledness in us, where we just concentrate on the goal and the destination and all that kind of stuff, and the way to kind of combat this issue is to be present in whatever moment you are in, and really kind of experience. And also as we see the world, nowadays with the virus and with all that's happening, job losses, or people becoming homeless, or people that were already homeless, or whatever it may be, we all know that we are better off than the millions around the world that are not so lucky, for whatever reason. And just be grateful. I think that would bring you, as it did for me, a lot of peace of mind, a lot of calmness. It will ground you, it will center you, so you're never at the future and you're never in the past, but you're just at this moment, or whatever moment that you're experiencing at that time. So also another way actually to well, there are so many ways, but another way might be, if you have free time, or bit of money or things like that, give yourself be of service in some way, whether it's volunteering, whether it's donating money, to, I wouldn't say to charity, and especially the big ones, I wouldn't donate. in that way, but just do your homework when it comes to donating. But personally, if you just want to, I don't know, give your old clothes or your old furniture or things like that, you know, or maybe you want to volunteer at a, you know, I don't know, animal shelter, or, you know, all the homeless shelters or things like that. But just be of service, and that will bring you back again to your center. And sometimes we get into this kind of bubble that's just, we think about our own problems, our own issues, our own thoughts, and what we think and what we feel, and we forget that there are other people on this planet that are suffering or experiencing worse things than we are, and you just forget. And especially with the fast pace of life in the West, there's never a moment to catch up with yourself unless you create it, because it's always, you know, go, and before you know, by the time you get home, everyone's tired and no one's kind of has the energy to do anything. So you do what you have to, and then you get to bed, and it's, you know, on to the next day. And so it's good to have days, or I don't know, times where you planned, like the weekends or something, where you kind of register things, and you just you just appreciate moments. I know with me, if I'm sitting in one of in my balcony, or you know, just having a cup of tea, or something, you know, some mundane moment, I just appreciate, you know, the simple things. Just sitting in my warm, comfortable home, I'm very appreciative of it. You know, the fact that my life is very peaceful. There is no drama. Nobody's fighting me, or my house is not crazy. There's no, do you see what I mean? So I've created specifically these type of environment, so both myself and my children can we can both, or we can all kind of live in this peaceful surrounding, with no drama, with no arguments, with no, you know, I don't know, madness. We don't have a pet. Now with the lockdown, it's even better. You know, there's nobody coming. You know, I really love the lockdowns. I don't know about anybody else, but I really enjoy it. And the best part of it is nobody is coming. Now that might seem quite strange to some people, but you know, I get on with the things that I wanted to finish, or you know, my hobbies, or maybe something I wanted to learn or investigate or explore, finish my books or work on the house. You know, maybe some place in your house needs repainting, or you know, so there's all these. I wash a few million winter blankets and reorganize everything, and you know, organize cupboards. You know, what if some of the children's clothing are too small, what needs throwing out, and what needs, you know, I don't know, putting away or whatever. So it gives you that kind of time, and also a time for you to practice I don't know, me time, where you're just, when I always ask this, when I see someone that's very busy in my family, I always ask them questions like, when was the last time you actually sat down by yourself for an hour or two? And of course they can't remember because they don't do it. But I can remember, and I did it yesterday. And we have to have, I'm slowly getting into yoga now, and I started with just sitting somewhere in my room quietly, not doing anything, not moving, not really concentrating on anything. No, it's a bit tricky, because if you're like in bed or somewhere really comfortable, you might fall asleep. But it's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. So I am just practice yoga, donate money to charity, or be of service if you have some sort of a skill, that you can teach people. Maybe you are good, with you're a good cook or something like that. Be of service in some way. That will bring you a lot of humbleness, a lot of, good feelings, because you'll be like, God, I'm doing something and it really makes me feel good. And I remember I have never seen anybody who did any kind of kindness and they didn't enjoy it. I've never seen that. And so it's beneficial for us, and it's also beneficial for the person we are helping out. I know with my own belief, in the Holy Quran, there is a statement that kind of correlates to this conversation, and it says, the giving of charity benefits the giver as well as the receiver. And that's been true in my life. I felt God a few million times better than the person I'm giving. I'm the one that was like, oh my God, it feels really good, and what else can I give them? And you just feel so inspired. And this could be anything. Sometimes it could be a good advice. It doesn't have to be clothes or money or that kind of thing. It could be a nice meal. It could be a conversation. It could be a good advice. Maybe you spend time with that person, especially if they're quite an elderly person, or I don't know, a teenager or something like that. So the charity that you can do is quite literally endless. And just remember, it will benefit you, and as well as the receiver. And also don't, I found some people, for whatever reason, will say things like, maybe they did you a favor or something, and these are the people that did you the favor just so they can I don't know, ask you a favor another time or something. And they will say to the person they did the favor for, or were kind to, remember last time when I gave you that, now I expect you to give this and this, or be of service to me. And that's not charity. Let me tell you, that's business. Anything that you want something in return is not charity. It's a form of business. Um, so just remember that. Don't remind people of the favors you did for them. You know, I was gonna I was gonna say something, but I had to stop. Don't say that. I think it's a bad taste to remind someone that you paid for their meal or something like that 5 years ago. I mean, how sad and low, I would say, can you be? So even if you did them such a big favor, or I don't know, just don't say it. Consider it, like your passport to heaven or something. Just consider it, as a favor you've done for God rather than the person itself. And got a bit of a sore throat, so I'm trying to clear my throat. So just don't remind people of the favors you're doing for them. Also, don't judge people, don't belittle them. Everyone is working hard, or working within their means, and also you don't know what mindset or what environment people were raised in. Most of the people that we see that are kind of walking around, and we might think that they are, I don't know, lazy or uneducated or whatever the label is, but we don't know what environment those people are raised in. So try not to judge and try not to belittle anyone. As I heard a saying once, most of the most well-educated people, or what was it? The wisest people in the world have no education, and that's always true, because obviously life has taught them the lesson, and not a classroom. And it's better to learn from life than to learn from a classroom. I think if you have half and half is good, but it's always better when you learn from life. You just receive the message a lot better, I find. So yeah, just don't belittle people, don't judge, don't divide people and say, well, I don't know, the Africans are so and so, or I don't know, the Europeans are so and so. I remember instead of, I think, concentrating on skin color or culture or whatever the thing is, just remember they are part of Allah's creation. Those of you, I don't think there's anybody on the earth and I really mean that. I don't think there's anybody on the earth who doesn't know who Allah is, but I'm just gonna say it is God. So I don't think, just remember every human being is part of the creation, and it's they have, what's the word I wanted to say, and so there's a respect, there's a given automatic respect you should show people, no matter what age or, I don't know, race or whatever. And remember, you don't know what environment they were raised in. as most of the people that are walking around are, damaged in some way. Anyway, just damaged in some way. So be kind, be compassionate, and be understanding, and try and, what's the word I want to say? Try and live your life as a light, as an extension of as a light, in the sense that be welcoming, be inviting, be approachable, be somebody people can go to and say, hey, I need so and so, I need this, or do you know the direction to this? Just be approachable, be nice, or not nice, I don't like that word, but just be approachable, be gentle, be compassionate and understanding. I hate, and I'm going to say this again because I don't really like to use the word hate. It's very strong, but I do use it in some situations, like this one. I hate people who are religious and who are, what's the word? Arrogant in their righteousness. I mean, seriously, who gave them the flipping ticket anyway? Sorry, who gave them the kind of the notion to police the world anyway? So I dislike them. I just think, but they don't have to be religious. They could just be political. They could be, I don't know, just anybody. But as long as they have the attitude of, I'm better than anyone, or I'm better than you, I dislike them. That's someone who's not working on themselves. So, just be mindful and live your life in a way that helps people out, and in a way that is welcoming, in a way that's gentle with your voice, even when you're walking in the ground. Don't walk it in a way that kind of says, I don't know, I own the street or something. Nobody really does, but I know some people would work that way. No, it's something that I kind of sometimes struggle with as well. But I'm getting there slowly. I used to kind of, have the whole thing about, I'm an East African and an ancient queen of, some desert land, and, but I've really, I've learned to kind of calm down. It does. I have that divaness sometimes, and it does come out, but it comes out on the right people that you kind of want to use it. So it's good to have it, but I think it's in there somewhere. But it does come out occasionally. But the other thing is, it's only used for the good, and even as I'm talking to you guys, I am practicing to become a lot more mindful, a lot more loving, a lot more calm, and that sort of quality. So it's not that I am already there and I'm only telling you guys to be. No, I am a work in progress, as I speak. But I've also, I also sort of came over a lot of challenges, within myself. So just, be the solution, I think, of the world. Do things that, only preserve mankind, only preserve, not only but preserve the animals or the planet itself, or, just be part of the solution and not the problem, as a lot of the world nowadays is divided, and whether it's politically divided or religiously divided, or there's always some division. So just be part of the solution and not the problem. Because if you're part of the problem, you're gonna live you're creating a violent, cruel, cold world, and and it's somewhere that you wouldn't like to live. So just be mindful, and don't stereotype people. Don't think, well, I've seen one so and so race do that, so for the other 10 million might also be like that. Don't be that kind of person. I know with a lot of, I think we have it in every kind of culture, but I think, I don't know, as Muslims is not something, and I'm not advising just Muslims here, but my message is always universal. I don't favor anyone, but just it doesn't matter, but just anyone can practice these principles. You don't have to be anything, but just anyone can practice it, is what I mean. Just be loving. Don't add to people's misery or ignorance or whatever, and try and kind of be the light, travel light. Like I said, be approachable, be gentle, be understanding, and especially nowadays I find people are just angry for no reason. Even online, you see some of the most saddest of comments, so rude, and and you think to yourself, what the hell is happening in that, with that person? And people project that's the other thing. You haven't even said anything, but they will tell you what you're thinking, even though it's not what you're thinking. But they'll tell you things like, I know what you're thinking. You were thinking such and such, and you look at them like, do you know what I was thinking? Actually. And so they project a lot of negativity, and that shows they're experiencing a lot of self-hate. Whoever's hating themselves tend to project that hate onto you, and they will start calling you names, and you're like, and as I always say, when someone says something to you, or they're projecting something on you, then you don't have to accept it, or you don't have to believe it, or you don't have to let it in. I always picture in my mind the words of people bouncing off my skin, you know. I mean, this is just this is just a vision that I do when someone is saying something. I always look at the person, and in my head I've got this image of me standing, and the words they're saying is kind of bouncing off my skin or jacket or whatever I'm wearing at that time. Just like a raindrop would bounce off the raincoat, you know. So yeah, don't let it in. You have to kind of consent to it if you believe in it. If someone says you're ugly or whatever, I have not actually met anybody that would speak like that, and I hope I never do. But just don't let it in. Don't be so, I think, just have a level-headed. Don't be so soft that, you know, you turn into this weak, you know, person that anybody can push you around. But don't be so harsh to the point that, you know, you become like a soldier almost. I'm not saying all soldiers are hard, but, you know, they can shut down, some of them. And just be in the middle. Be the type of person people don't mess around with, but at the same time, someone who's understanding and approachable. Try and strike the balance. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but I hope that I am. Now, let's go back to the topic. So just practice being mindful, you know, throughout the day. Say, this is what I practice is, actually I was going to tell you, but before that, this is what I practice, and it's I try and think of 10 things, maybe 3 things in the morning, maybe another 3 in the afternoon, another 3 in the evening time. You know, I did say 10, but that's 9. But I try and think of things that I'm grateful for. So I'll say things like, I'm grateful for my home, I'm grateful for my bed, or my favorite blankets, or it could be my favorite pajamas. They don't have to be favorite. It's just how I like to start. I love my tea, so that's another one that I probably include in there. You know, I'm grateful for my health and my happiness and my, you know, and so I kind of go through the whole day like that. And if somebody says something something nice or something, I don't know, unexpected, I also include it in there. So try and think of things that you're grateful for. It could be your eyelashes, it could be your eye colour, I don't know, it could be your nice toned body, it could be your muscles. It doesn't have to be limited to anything. It could be I don't know, it could be your family, your friends, your children, pets, you know, things like that. Now, the book that I really find changed my life in a good way, and I've read a few million over the years. But this one I often read is what was it called? Dale Carnegie's book, How to Worry Less. I think that's what it's called. And it's on, I listen to the audio on YouTube. You know, there's so many YouTubers that are doing that at the moment, and it means it's free, and I can always, you know, listen to it, and I don't have to pay for it. So anyway, it's a fantastic book, and it gives us all the just gives us maybe 500 people of the past, and how they solved their worrying problem. And he has, their quotes and the way they solve their worrying problems. And this is like people, God, back in the Roman times, some of them, all the way to, I think, the 1950s. It's a fantastic book. I couldn't recommend it enough. I really couldn't. But there's a beautiful quote. He says, from another person who lived in the past, as I'm really terrible with names, but somebody said in the past, and it's quoted in this book, you have to live in day-tight compartments. So just live for today, or at least concentrate on today, is the philosophy behind that quote. So just live, or concentrate all your effort on today, and then once you get to bed, you can think about, or maybe not even think about, just concentrate on today. It's a fantastic book. As I said, practicing gratitude, being mindful, what else? Doing your meditation. You don't have to do really meditation. What I started with was just sitting in my bed. That's where I find comfort. Just sitting in my bed for maybe 40 minutes without moving and without saying anything, or without talking, without watching anything. Just sit there, and you don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to do anything. You just concentrate on your breath. That's it. And try and see, maybe 15 minutes you can start with, or 5 minutes, and see how long you can stay. And I find nowadays I can stay there for hours on end. And I think I said this in my last podcast, but I find if you even tell me to stay in my room for the whole month, I wouldn't really mind. It doesn't bother me, because I find so many things to, that I can do, providing that I have internet and bit of food. I was just thinking about this, but so I really, there'll be so many things that I'll be doing, usually tidying up, or I don't know, cooking or something. But I've learned to enjoy my own company. I've always have anyway. I found the opposite to what people kind of worry about. People worry about, when am I going to see this, family, or when are we going to meet next? And I'm thinking, when can I get away so I can do all the stuff I wanted to do? So I try and, my idea of heaven is to live somewhere like Alaska, somewhere far away, but at the same time I love things I love things to be kind of close by. So I like to have the GP, or maybe the supermarket, or my herbal shop, things like that close by. This is why I'm not moving to Alaska yet. But I love I don't know, somebody was asking me one time what I loved about it, and I loved the isolation. I guess that's what I love, and just to know that nobody's gonna come for another, or they couldn't come for the next 4 to 5. It will take them 4 to 5 days to get here. At the same time, though, I like to be close to everything that I need. So, no, I do love maybe go there for a holiday, but I not really live there. I'm not a very outdoor person. I don't think I would like to go camping. I've never seen an African do camping anyway. Not that they don't do it, it's just I don't know, I wouldn't. I would find the floor to be terribly rough or uncomfortable to sleep in, and my fear of snakes would kind of get the better of me and I would have a heart attack. Anyway, but just, what was the God? So do I start somewhere with your gratitude. I think just start somewhere and, slowly give what you can when you can. Also, try and be a nice person, when you're on buses or trains or, on your day-to-day, don't be aggressive. There's some people, if you're even walking in front of them or something, well, you would get the feeling that they're uncomfortable or aggressive in some way. Like I said, be approachable, be understanding, and just know that everyone is having their own battles and their own issues, and there's no need to make someone's day even worse than what they're experiencing. So just be mindful and be thankful. Okay, I can't say anything about people who do not believe in God, and I'm not alienating them in any way. But for those of us that believe in God, be thankful. How do you think you wake up every morning? I remember posting this the other day. Don't be thinking that your alarm clock woke you up. You can put 10 alarm clocks next to a dead person, they wouldn't get up. So be grateful to him. Be mindful. Just don't be like an animal and sit there and chew all your lovely food without saying a blessing. Don't just remember your favors. Remember the favors the Lord has bestowed upon you. Remember how lucky you are. Remember how how not everyone is as fortunate as you are in terms of health, wealth, and even if you think you don't have that much health, at least you have your food in the house, and you've got your internet running, and you've got your comforts, all around. So be mindful to him, be grateful, be gracious, and say thank you. You're not paying for it. Like, nobody's telling you to pay for your thank yous. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, I don't really like people that don't say grace when they're eating, or just people that are not grateful. It's not an attractive sight. It really isn't. I'm sure we can all say a few words, and then start eating. I know in the Muslim world, there is no way, on any situation, even if I'm gonna have a chewing gum or something small, I would have to, say a prayer first and then eat. The other things there are so many things you can practice, but I'm gonna give you only, I think, was it 4? So be of service, just name things that you are grateful for each morning or afternoon or evening. Mornings are best because you've just woken up, and start with 3, then work your way up. And you're not limited to anything. You can say, I'm grateful for my 2 pans that I cook with. It would be strange to begin with the pans. Then your, I don't know, your eyesight or your hearing or something. But hey ho, it doesn't matter. Just start somewhere, and you don't have to do yoga, but meditation, sit in somewhere quiet, be reflective, in order to be mindful and be aware of your thoughts and things like that. It's good to meditate. Practice letting go every day, whether it's negative people or conversations or I don't know, just your day to day. Don't hate yourself or anybody. Don't practice hate. Don't practice envy. Don't practice jealousy or that whole why me, why are they getting everything and I'm not getting it issue. Remember, nobody is here, or nobody can take away your portion of whatever, however much the Lord has decided to give you. So in the ocean of life, as my motivational speaker Louise Hay would often say, in the ocean of life, we're all there, taking however much we think we need, and you're not taking anybody else's portion. So I don't really understand the jealousy or the envy or the hate or any of that. These are kind of like animalistic emotions. You need to rise above it and get to where the light is, which is, the love you have for yourself and for the people, and you become selfless. You don't ever want to hurt anybody or an animal or the planet, so you want to do all you can to kind of preserve mankind or the animals or the people. And it should always be, if you can work with all 3, fantastic, but we should always save people first, because as the Lord decreed, people are more important than animals. I'm not saying that you cannot feed them both. I'm just saying, if it ever came to it, you save the life of a human being first. And I don't really get the people, who would pass the homeless shelter but would get to the animal shelter. Like, seriously, they've got their their morals, or their moral code backwards. It should always be people first, then the animals. If you can do them both, then you go ahead and do that. So yes, leave the this low vibration where hate or envy or jealousy or all that kind of animalistic emotions reside, and rise above it, and go where enlightenment, love, and understanding and all that good emotions are. Be mindful, be conscious, you expand, grow, explore your mind, and don't ever stop learning, and try and respect the people, the planet, the animals, and I'll speak to you soon. But practice gratitude. It will enrich your life, in ways you never thought it would. And also, you would sleep better, you would eat better, and you would live a longer life, full of blessings and happiness, which is what we're all going for. I thank you for listening, and keep practicing, keep growing, keep expanding, exploring, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.